Hi, this is Christina, and today I am delighted to be talking with Mateo Tabatabai, the author of the life-changing book, The Mind-Made Prison. Hi, Mateo. Could I start by asking you what inspired you to write this amazing book?
What first inspired me to write this book? That's a good question. I think what it was, at the time, I had this deep feeling of having to do a certain task, of having to fulfill something. And the more I kind of got into contact with this feeling I had, I realized that there was like a ember, like a fire deep down within my belly, and that this fire was in fact some sort of creativity, and I needed to get it out. I needed to simply see if I could express all that this fire contained and see if I could serve people while doing so.
You are obviously very well traveled. Could you speak a little about what you discovered during your journeys?
Yes, I did travel quite a bit, and I still do, even though I have cut back on my travels lately. I traveled because I was just overtaken by this intense drive, this longing to go deeper and deeper and find truth. So even though I was traveling all over the world, all my travels were doing was taking me to different locations where I could meet different people or different surroundings or retreat style locations that would allow me to travel further within. So from the outside it looked like I was traveling all over the place, but my goal with traveling was actually to go inside. I only traveled physically to further facilitate that growth, that inner growth. One thing I did learn from the actual physical traveling, though, was that when it comes to it, we people, we all want some of the same things. It doesn't matter if you're from Thailand or United States or Europe. We all kind of want the same things, and they might show up in different ways, but it's the same kind of energies. For example, love or safety or connection, happiness, peace. It's the same kind of things that we are all kind of chasing and wanting in our lives. So that was really valuable for me and gave me insight into the universal things that we have in common as human beings.
But you have gained a lot of insight from masters of self-improvement. Are there any whose knowledge was of particular importance to you?
Yes, I have been blessed by the presence of many different masters, both masters of self-improvement, of therapy, of meditation, all types of inner work. And what I will say is, I can't pinpoint any specific masters. Of course, there were teachers who had an incredible and very profound effect on my life. But all true masters, I believe, are in reality just pointing you back to something deep within yourself. If you don't have that passion, if you don't have that love for truth, if you don't have that love for just constant growth, I believe it doesn't matter which master is around you, you're not going to really get the full benefit. So all these masters and teachers were actually just pointing me back to the real master, to the real guru, the guru inside, the one inside who, we could call it the heart, we could call it the knowing. There are many names for it, but for me it was pointing back to that deep within my soul or my being that knew truth, that longed for truth.
For those who haven't read your book yet, could you describe its main essence, the main message you wished to convey?
The essence of the mind-made prison. I would say the essence is that we are masters of our own reality, that we are constantly creating meanings in our lives, and whether we think we're making a choice or not, we are making a choice. And even negativity or depression or going crazy in anger or in rage, they are choices. Now, we might not have the ability in that given moment to make a different choice, but what I'm trying to convey through this book is give you a roadmap of how your psyche works And through understanding, through awareness, hopefully we can gain access to different choices that are going to be more fulfilling for us in our lives. So I would say the essence of the book is creating awareness and kind of deepening the level of flexibility you have. With flexibility, I mean your ability to choose between many different ways of responding instead of just being in constant reaction to the world around you.
Many of your readers have been helped by your book, myself included. Is there any feedback that has been particularly pleasing to you?
Yes, I have gotten quite a few emails from readers all over the world, and I must say I enjoy all of them. Some of the type of emails that are particularly enjoyable to me is when I hear people have really used the information to take action in their lives and to actually implement it. And when they write me about, hey Mateo, I implemented this specific step or that mindset, and I really feel the effects. I see concrete changes in my life. So that's one aspect of the emails I enjoy, people who actually implement it. And the other is people who write me and say, Mateo, it's almost like you were in my mind. As I was reading this book, it was almost as if you understood who I was to my core. And I love this second type of emails because when a reader writes that to me, I really just feel a very strong sense of connection to that person. And it kind of reminds me like, wow, when I write a book and people buy it and they're reading it, I'm actually having this sense of connection with people that I had no way of reaching if I didn't have written this book. But now, because of this book and because they took the action to buy it and read it, there is a sense of connection across continents, across race, across nationality, and that sense of connection is just amazing. I think.
Absolutely. And where do you go from here? Do you have plans for any more books?
What does the future look like right now? Well, I'm working on my second book, which should be out in a couple of months. These things typically take more time than expected for me because I want to perfect them. I want to make them better and better and better. So I'm working on my second book. I'm probably going to be working on an online kind of interactive program. And other than that, I don't have any major plans. I'm going to be doing some live retreats or courses at some point down the line. We'll see. We'll see what life brings me.
Well, in the meantime, your wonderful book, which I highly recommend, The Mind Made Prison, is available on Amazon and in good bookshops throughout the world. Thank you very much for taking the time to talk to us, and I wish you every success with all you undertake in the future.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure doing this interview.